computer. Okay, so we're gonna go. All right, so the Johnny Shicheii, right on the Johnny. So Shicheii is kind of like an independent person. Shicheii is like a person that says you should always grow as a person individually by yourself. Always have goals. Okay, and that's the reason why he says Nsahakis, and then Nahat'ah, and then over here Ina, and then says this is a pattern, right? This is a pattern. So in this pattern, thoughts come to you. Every day thoughts come to you. Sometimes there's too much thoughts coming. But if you can divide it and say, these are good thoughts and these are not so good thoughts. I'm just going to zero on the good thoughts because that's where I want to grow. All right. And so once you get some good thoughts, then you can go here and start planning. And then implement it means life. And then Sihasin is like, thank you. I was able to do this today. Started with a thought and then ended up with using it. It's kind of like you teaching, right? You learning. Here's a thought, asha, and you come down here to plan it. How should I say it? So I'm going to talk to Shicheii. And Shicheii will say, Shitsui, meaning my little one, my grandson, my granddaughter. Shitsui, Elton, right now, the kui, if I divide it, it'll be di, and then that's one. Kui, 1, 2, go, 3. The kui go, high tone all the way up. De kui, stretch it out. De kui, go, high tone all the way across. So the G doesn't have a high tone. The O's both have a high tone. So you just pull it over to the extra O. And then here's a new word, Oolkił. Literally, it means moving. Oolkił. It goes. That's what the scripture that describes. It's moving. Oolkił. And that Oolkił has that sound, which refers to the old clock. The old clock, if you see the minute hand, it goes, and that's what they call Oolkił, moving of a stick-like object, Oolkił. Or net might be another object, or jah, or gosh, all those are movement, but this one is a click, like a slender something. And so the clock, old clocks, not the new ones, but the old clock has a second hand that always goes, right? Always goes. And that's what we call clock. Now in the old days, we had no idea what clock, we didn't go by clock. We only go by we went by the sun. That was our Oolkił. That was our, that was ours at the time. But now that we have a small object and it has a second hand and it goes Oolkił. Ol is just one sound, ol, and then kil. So Shicheii says, today, let's think about the numbers again. Asha, naki, ka, din, 2 eyes, 2 high tones, din, and then ashla, and then hasta again, and so sebi, naste, nesna, and over here we have clocks over here, but we're not going to really use it. We're mainly going to go what? There's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5, 6, 7, all the way to 12. So let's say Dicha, Grandpa's going to roll a dice here. Na ki. All right. Ashla. and hasta. And sometimes I might say double it. And so double it, this would be neznago oolkił. So all you do is take the number, asha. What time is it? Asha go. So here it'll be Oolkił oolkił. And the answer, you as you're talking to Shicheii, so you say Shicheii, right now, because the die was rolled, neznago oolkił, because I said double, so ashla nezna, so ashla nezna, and so I would say Shicheii neznago, and where do we get nezna? Right here, we got nezna from here. So, oh, come on, I guess I can't move that thing. I thought I could. All right, so this is all of you. Nezna right there. Nezna. Right there's nezna. Ashla, nezna, neznago. And so that our answer, Shicheii, you're talking to Shicheii. Shicheii, kad neznago oolkił. So our verb in Navajo is always going to stay the same at the end. Yeah, this is why we call it a verb-based, or verb-based language. Navajo is a verb-based language. It's kind of like the center focus of the sentence is the last word, oolkił. Kill means the movement, right? Kill. Any action, it always comes at the end. So oolkił in the question, and oolkił in the answer. All right. And so Shicheii kad neznago oolkił. Or we can do this again and say Shicheii na kigo oolkił. All right. So let's say I'm with Elton now. Elton, Shicheii Elton kad Oolkił oolkił. And you won't know until I do this. Now you can answer your che. Shicheii kad na kigo. You can use your hands. Na kigo oolkił. And then Shicheii comes back and says, Nijana Elton ahiaha Shicheii. Right? And then we'll reverse it. You become the Shicheii. And the minute you say, Shicheii, let me get health in here. Seth, yeah, Seth's coming in. All right, there we go. Seth is coming in. Let me just look at the chart here, see who's here. Oh yeah. Sequoia is here. All right. All right, so now, anyway, so that's one thing we're going to do. So go all the way through, and then we'll switch, and the other person will say, if I was a Shicheii and I said Shicheii Elton kad Oolkił oolkił, and Elton will say Shicheii kad neznago oolkił, and then I'm the Che. Nijana Elton ahiaha Shicheii, and then we switch. And Elton will ask me the question, Shicheii Clayton, kad Oolkił oolkił. What time is it? Grandson Clayton, what time is it? Shicheii Clayton, kad Oolkił oolkił. And I'll flip this and I'll say double. Oh, that means 2 and 2 plus, yeah, okay. Ding, na kido, na ki. Ding, go. Okay, I'll say, Shicheii kad dingo oolkił. And then Elton will say, Nijana Clayton ahiaha Shicheii, and that'll be it. Now, so that's one thing I want you to do. Now, Elton, Elton will turn around, and I hope everybody can see people. So anybody that wants to participate today, go ahead and put yes by your name. Put yes by your name, because you want to participate and pass off right in class. All right, so now the second part that I would like everybody to do is you Elton, since you and I did it, Elton will turn and I guess I think he can see all that. I think he can see all the yes. So Elton will turn to Louise, right? Louise. Okay, 2 and 12. Oh, okay. Let's see what you're talking about. Oh, Nanki. Oh, okay. So 12, you're saying Nanki, right? 2. And you have to add that last part. Tsada, tsada. So that makes it 12. Nanki, tsada. Look at 11. That's just taking the word 1. Asha, but we just use sa. Sa, tsada. So 11 is tlatsada, 2 is na kitsada, 3 is tatsada. Notice how the tsada. That's kind of like saying, it's kind of like saying 10 plus 1 plus 2, that kind of idea. All right. So good question. Yeah, thanks. Anyway, Elton will change to Louise, and he'll go, Shitsui, Louise. And I'll be the one that go like this, and I'll say double. If it's double, it'll be 4. Yeah. If I don't say double, just say na. Should say na kigo ol kish, and then Elton will say nejane should say Louise a hat. Nejane Louise a hat should say, and then Louise will turn around and she will go and call on Jace, right? So that's how we'll go through the list today, all right? Anybody have any questions? You can either type the question in, or you can turn on your mic and we can answer your question. I don't think anybody has any question. I think we're pretty straightforward. All right, so let me start with Louise. All right, Louise. Okay, so let's go right here. I'm trying to see how I can make it so numbers can appear. I'm gonna have to just go back and forth. All right, after the question, I'll go up here, and then I'll do the dice. All right. Shitsu Louise at the Quigo Oolkił. And you have to say this one. Okay.
Okay. Shicheii kad digo Oolkił.
The Jeanne Louise, a cat should see. Now I'll turn this off. And can you see the next person?
Yes.
Okay, so now it says Shitsui.
Shitsui Jace kada dequigo Oolkił.
All right, here we go. Okay, there you go.
Shicheii kad ashlago Oolkił.
Nijone Jace ahehe Shitsui.
All right. So now we go to Jace. And you turn to who? Dexter. Okay.
Shitsui Dexter kad dequigo Oolkił.
All right, here we go. Ready? Okay, go ahead. Dexter, you got your mic on? Okay, your mic's not on. Oh, your mic is on. Okay. All right, let's do it again.
Shicheii Dexter, Ka'ad Dequigo Oolkił.
Okay, we're going to skip Dexter. I don't know if his mic's on or not. Jace asks Sakura.
Shicheii Sakura, Ka'ad Dequigo Oolkił.
Shicheii ka hashish go Oolkił.
Astrago.
Nijone Sakura Ahehe Shicheii.
Okay, Sakura, here we go. Here we go. And you're going to ask who? Kayleen.
Kayleen.
Okay.
Issuing Kayleen Kadadigo
I'm a good swimmer, but I'm not good enough to swim across the pond. That's
I
not a
can't
pond.
see the.
The
Oh,
robot
there.
that is an ocean.
Okay. Shicheii I didn't go or kiss.
Nijonia Kayleen Ahehe Shisho.
So Tsui.
Shishui.
Good job. All right, now Kayleen. Sage.
Shicheii Sage God the Quigo or kiss.
Okay. Shicheii ka ta'a go wait. Ta kla. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Shicheii ka. Can I see the word again?
There it is, right there.
Ta go Oolkił.
Nijone Sage Ahehe Shicheii.
Got it. All right, Sage, Nanana. Sage, you'll go with who? Elia?
Shicheii Elia ka di Quigo Oolkił.
There we go.
Shicheii taco Oolkił.
Okay. Okay.
Nijone
Elia.
Elia Ayehe Shicheii.
Elia, Nanana. All right. Right there. You're going to do Sequoia.
Shicheii Sequoia Dequigo
All. Kiss. All right, here we go. Oh, let me do it again. Sorry. There we go.
Shicheii kad hastago Oolkił. Nijone Sequoia Ahehe Shicheii.
All right, Sequoia and Nanana. You will do Peyton.
Shicheii Peyton kad Dequigo Oolkił.
All right, here we go. Double Double. Let's do double. Okay, now we got it right. We know it's this one right there. All right, so now go ahead.
Shicheii cad Bigo Oolkił.
Uh-huh.
Nijoni Peyton Ahihe Shitsui.
I think that might be a little better. Okay, the Johnny. All right, Peyton, Nana, and Clara Sun. All right, here we go. There you go.
Shicheii Clara cad Oolkił.
Mhm. Okay.
Shicheii Digo Oolkił.
Nijone Clara Ayehe Shitsui.
Uh-huh. Clara, you're gonna do
Liam.
Liam. All right, here we go.
Shitsui Liam Digo Oolkił.
Double. Do the double. Right there.
Shicheii cad Neznago Oolkił.
Okay.
Nijone Liam Ahihe Shitsui.
All right. Done. All right. Next is Liam Louise. Do Louise. All right.
Shicheii Louise cad Diego Oolkił.
All right. Here we go. Double. So that would be this one right here. Go ahead.
Shicheii cad Nakigo Oolkił.
Nijoni Louise Ayehe Shitsui.
Uh-huh. All right. So I'm going to try a little bit more and see if I can. All right. I think that might be better right there. All right. Here we go. All right. So now we're Louise, right? And you're doing Dexter. Oh, it won't work. Okay, let's try Dexter again. Go ahead, Louise.
Shitsui Dexter cad Diego Oolkił.
All right, double that one. Okay, Dexter's microphone, he's working on it. It looks like, sounds like it. All right, let's go to Louise. Let's do Leia, right? Which is this one right here? Yeah, do Leia. Louise, do Leia.
Shitsui Leia cad Diego Oolkił.
All right, go ahead.
What number am I? Shicheii cad
Shicheii.
God. What's that number?
B four. Ding,
Go. Okay.
dingo all. Dingo all kill. All
Okay.
right. Yeah, back to you, Louise.
Nijone Leah Ahiahet Shitsui.
All right, Leah asked Connor.
Okay. Shishui Connor got the gone Oolkił.
Duquigo.
The Kiko Oolkił.
Let's go with this. All right, that one.
Shicheii kad tagu Oolkił.
Nazoi Connor Ahehe Shishui.
Done. All right, let's see. Did we do everybody? Let me know if I didn't do any one of you. John. I think we got everybody except Dexter's phone. Dexter, is your phone working? Okay, we got another person coming in. All right, for those that just come in, if you want to pass off, put yes by your name. Okay, let's see. There might be somebody. All right. So let's go ahead and okay, I think everybody got a chance to do that. That was kind of interesting. So those that pass off will that would be your pass off. If you weren't able to pass off, make sure you do at least 3 of these. 3, you know, it could be the same person, right? It could be the same person. Like you can go up to your brother and say, Shicheii Johnny, Kataquigo Oolkił, and just show them one of these clock things, like this one, Sebi, right? 8 o'clock. Just point to this, and they'll have to figure out. Okay, that's Sebi, and then he'll say, Shicheii Sebigo Oolkił, and then you say, Nijona Johnny Shicheii, and then you can reverse it, and they can do 1 on you, and then do 1 more. So there's 3. So if you're going to do it at home, try to do 3, and then you can email me and say I did 3 with my brother or something like that. All right. Anybody have any questions so far? It's about 1:45, and I want to show you a little bit of a video clip here. And let's see, where did it go?
Could I do a pass off? My audio wasn't working.
Oh, is this Dexter?
Yeah.
Najong. All right. Let's do it. Hey, let's show. Who wants to ask a question? Who wants to be the Shicheii? Anybody?
I'll do it. This is Connor.
Okay, Najong, go ahead.
Am I Shicheii?
You're the Shicheii. You're the Chase. So Shicheii, Dexter.
Okay. Connor. Oh, okay. Shicheii Dexter ka Dihuigo Oolkił.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Shicheii ad ashla go Oolkił. Najone Dexter Ahiahet Shitsui.
I finally got it, Njanya. All right, let's go. I want to show you a video clip. This has to do with time. It's from one of my friends that, let's see if I can find him real quick. Let's see if
Sick of
I want. All right, I just barely had it just a minute ago. Okay, let's see. All right, here we go. Okay, Wally Brown. And it's called time. All right, here we go. Let's see if it'll show up. There it is. All right.
But in the fourth world,
Okay, here we go. There we go. All right, here we go.
and beyond, there is completely a different time system. Among our people, there are certain ways to refer to time. And you have to understand that our people didn't have clocks or any kind of ways to measure the minutes and the seconds and the hours of the day. But generally, it was referred to as one great big time period, and they would call it Ni'ika. Ni'ika it covers a night and a day. But the daytime is also referred to as from the morning, mid-morning, noon, afternoon, evening, and then nighttime. And then in the nighttime, then you have that midnight, and then back to the dawn hours. Ahayotka is referred to as when they understand that the first light appear to the east before the sun comes up. And then it is a time period when they say Hos Eid, which is to refer to the time when there's actually light enough that you can actually see in and around you. And then Ha'i'a is when the sun has actually come up. And so there's probably about 4 references to that time period, because the first one, in certain seasons of the year, they say Dilyahak, which is referring to a certain group of stars. And then comes the time when there's just a faint light, and then the visible objects around you with enough light, and then finally when the sun comes up. But there's also that time before noontime. That is how they refer to it. And then when the sun is overhead, they say, and then when the sun continues to go across the sky, when it's between noontime and evening time, that part there is called Hiche. And then finally, when the sun goes down, and and then finally Chahoshed, and then it is Eithni, which is midnight. Now they measure the midnight by the North Star, which is considered a fire in the middle. And there's the male on one side and the females on the other side, each facing each other across the fire. And so when those are set in a certain way, where the man is on the left and the woman is on the right, then that is midnight. And so that was the way that time period was told and observed. But when I was growing up in the sweat lodge, we talked about time periods and the time of existing in the first world. And it was a time when life came to everyone, or all living life forms. And that is referred to as a specific moment or a specific time. And then we have that existence in a different time period in the second world, where we were spirit beings. Is what they refer to ourselves at that particular time. And then finally, as we come into this world, then we become a surface person on Mother Earth, and we are 5-fingered beings. And so that's the third world that we are in now. Now, there's a lot of discrepancy. There's a lot of people, our own people even, that don't understand that this time period is in the third world. When we had these discussions with the old people in the sweat lodge and referring to this particular time, you always have to recognize that this is the yellow corn pollen path existence. It is the yellow world. And everything that reproduces life, it comes from the substance that is yellow. Tadatin, which is the corn pollen, and the insect have their own pollen to reproduce. And the bird, when you crack an egg, the yolk in the middle is yellow. And the animals also have their ways of reproducing. with their yellow pollen. It's just as the humankind. So there's no disputing at all, as this being the third world and the yellow world, we are brought into existence by yellow pollen. And this is the yellow corn pollen path existence, which is this particular time. Now, when they talk about the next world, which is very important to understand, everything is based on 4. In this world, everything is based on 4. It's not saying that it is a 4th world. Everything is based on 4 so we can know how to live in the next world, which is the 4th world. But even the 4th world has a different time, a different way that time would be measured. And when we talked about the idea of time in the Sweat Lodge, it was always that that time that we understand is only for here, as we understand time. That the time when we were in the first world, that was a different time way of measuring time. In the second world, there was also a different way to tell time. So it is that we understand time in this world, and particularly by the clock. And so that is the way that we calculate time here. But they say in the next world, that time is a different way to be understood. And so it is that the teaching of our people regarding time. And if you think about it, and they say, ago, which means into the eternity. And so us as a being, we are eternal beings. We are beings that will be in existence forever. And so it is that is a different time entirely. Time is only that we understand it for this particular existence here in the third world, but in the 4th world and beyond, there is completely a different time system. And so it is that one time one of them said, or the things that is happening happens on the holy people's time. The holy people have their own time, and we don't understand the holy people's time. And that is the way it is, and those are the things that we are told.
Okay, that was great. Wally Ground. Wally is from Page, Arizona. He has his own Hogan. He has students come to his little Hogan, and there he teaches all the way from kindergarten to probably high school. Thanks for coming. Keep doing what you're doing. Teaching is the best way to be able to grow. I wouldn't say quickly, yeah. So I'll see you next Tuesday. If you go to the, I will say that the goodie that we have here that tells us about our little creature, little goodie here. There it is, here it is. So next time we have, all right, here we go. So we have our little creature, not showing the Shicheii, and he is right here to give us that. Maybe he doesn't want to do it. Okay. So anyway, I'll put today's class here, and then I'll put a little video clip, less than 5 minutes, of our process that we did today. The next time is called space. All right, space meaning places, like right here, over there, behind that, or in front of, that kind of idea. Hagoshi, hagonet on it. See ya. Oh yeah, next time we'll tell some more of the twin stories. Thanks.